What's going on? Today we're going to do Nessus vulnerability scanner, and I chose, as you can see, TryHackMe to demonstrate the basic use of Nessus. So basically, this video is part of the COMPTIA Pentest Plus pathway. Okay. All right. So in this video, we're going to demonstrate the basic use of Nessus and apply it and on a deployable machine to scan for vulnerabilities. Right. Okay. The first thing we see, I'm not gonna go over the installation. You can find a bunch of videos on the internet on how to install and set up Nessus. So once you log in, you will see Welcome to Essentials, Nessus Essentials. Here you type the targets, but we're not gonna scan the targets immediately. We're gonna need to go over the features, the settings, how to use Nessus, get familiar with it. Then we go practical. So we're going to click on close. All right. As you can see, here is the interface. As you can see from the right, we have the new scan. If you click on it, you're going to be prompted to choose a type of scan, okay, and scan the targets. As you can see, we have multiple scans, host discovery to find the live host on the network, basic network scan, advanced scan where you get to customize the settings, dynamic scan, malware scan. As you can see, we can it depends on the signatures. Of course, this one, mobile device scan, as you can see, these upgrades. And these are, we're going to go over these one by one. This video is for demonstrating the fundamentals. All right. So on the left, we can see here my scans. If you create a scan, you will see your scan in this area here. And policies. So the policies here, you create templates, right? These templates will be used to scan the target, to follow rules you define. Right, let's jump back now to new scan. So basically here, the most used scans, right, are the basic network scan, and of course we can customize advanced scan, web application tests, and credential patch audits. So basically, the basic network scan can be used for any host. Okay, you can provide single host or you can provide a subnet. For example, if you click here, we are prompted with the parameters to fill in name, description, folder, and here we define the target. We can define a single IP or we can define a subnet. On the schedule, we can enable the schedule so the scan will run on a set time we choose. All right, notifications. This is for if you want to be notified about the scan results, you can put your email, and of course you have to set up the SMTP server to be able to send emails right to your inbox. Okay, discovery. Here we tweak our scan to choose the type of scan. For example, this one is port scanning. Scan the common ports 1024 and below. Here we can choose to scan all ports. It's the same as Nmap when you choose -b- for all ports or -b and you list the ports separated by comma. Custom. Here you choose if you don't want to scan all ports and you don't want to scan common ports as well. You want something specific, right? Here you choose host discovery, for example. This one specifies how we treat the targets when we scan, right? If you want to disable the ping discovery, you want your scan to be stealthy, you want to disable this, okay? Now, port scanning. Here we choose what ports to scan. So basically here, local port enumerators, we choose to scan SSH, SNMP, but here, the most important is we define the range. Service discovery. Here, the same as Nmap, when we enable this, we choose to enumerate the services and possibly their version detection. Assessment. Now, the assessment, okay, deals with the premises if you want to find the vulnerabilities. It's much like the scripting engine in Nmap. So here, You can choose a scan for web vulnerabilities, scan for all web vulnerabilities, quick, complex, custom. Of course, when you choose custom, you're going to define here more fine-grained settings, the reports, and advanced. We're going to go over that when we scan our target. Don't worry about this. So the next one is web application test. The web application test is used for scanning web applications, much like Nikto, or when you use Burp Suite for fuzzing, or OWASP, ZAP. Web application tests is similar to the tools I have just mentioned. Now, credential patch audits. So credential patch audit is a type of scan where you are required to submit credentials, right, for an SSH server. It could be SSH server, it could be basic authentication, it could be WordPress scan, it could be FTP server, any protocol that requires authentication. You submit the authentication credentials here, and the patch audit means that the scan will assess and evaluate the patch level of this application running on this protocol. For example, assess if the HTTP server is up to date or not. Malware scan, pretty self-explanatory. Mobile device scan, self-explanatory. Padlock detection. This is for scanning for specific CVEs. As you can see, it's very clear mentioned about this. Shell shock detection, right? These are customized scan for customized vulnerabilities. As you can see, the CVEs are mentioned, right? And here for scanning the shadow broker, if you have it or not, Spectre and Meltdown, ransomware. These are easy to spot and easy to choose based on your purpose. Compliance scan, if you work in compliance and you want to assess if your network or your client is compliant, for example, with PCI industry, in case it is a bank or financial company. And the rest of the audit, I'm not very expert in auditing, so I'm gonna just move on. So given all that we have, let's now start scanning a target. The target I choose is the machine from TryHackMe, as I mentioned earlier. So I'm going to click on basic network scan. I know it's live. I don't need to choose host discovery. I just can go ahead and click on basic network scan. So you're going to type THM, my scans, and here the IP. We put the IP address, right? We move to schedule. Here we're going to schedule the scan. We're going to run it immediately. Discovery. Here I'm going to scan for all ports. Okay. Assessment, scan type, leave it as default. And for advanced, as we are connecting through VPN, we're going to need to consider the bandwidth. That's why, let me first launch the VPN. Oh, I have it here, I guess. All right. So, as we are connected now, I'm going to head back and click on advanced. And here I'm going to choose scan low bandwidth links. Okay, we are connected via VPN, and it could create a network problem or congestion if we choose default scan. So we're going to choose only scan low bandwidth links, considering this fact. Credentials, we don't have any credentials, right? Plugins, no plugins. I'm not going to add any plugin here. Of course, you can add the plugins if you have specific or custom targets that you know you want. Or let me rephrase the sentence. If you have specific targets that you know it's running a specific service and you want this service to be scanned with specific plugin, you can choose the plugin from here. Okay, I'm going to head back now. Save. After I save the scan, I'm going to click on it and run. Launch. Okay, so the scan has finished, and we can click on My Scans, click on the scan, So you see the check mark indicating that the scan has finished. Click on it. So you see here the hosts, vulnerabilities, history. So as you can see, we have only one host, and we have color categorization of the alerts. So for example, here everything with yellow means medium, 2 low alerts, and 27 only info. So there is no critical um, alerts or vulnerabilities, right? So when you click on vulnerabilities here, we can see the same categorization, right? Everything with blue, info, mixed, and we can go down all the way down. These are only info. You can click from here to find the medium issues. No, it's not clicking. All right, we can use the filter. So basically here we can choose, let's go down. The severity is equal to medium. Apply. So here SSH weak algorithms supported, right? If you click on that, we get detailed info about what is considered by Nessus to be a vulnerability. The description, the solution, and this is very important if you are responsible also for the patch management. So it gives you an idea about how to apply for a solution. If you go back to vulnerabilities, click on the filter. You can filter using various switches here. I'm going to stick with severity equal to, let's say, low. Apply. We have multiple issues regarding SSH. We click on that. We see we have server CPC mode ciphers enabled and weak MAC algorithms enabled. Okay, regardless of the vulnerabilities, let's get back now to the folders. So here I'm going to check back this and say, for example, equal to, we don't have filters, right? We don't have critical, nor we have high. We can clear the filters. Okay. So what if we want to see the how many ports, the ports that are opened? As you can see here, we can see the family and the name of every alert. So here we have Nessus synchronization scanner and port scanners. If you click on that, we will see a list of the open ports. So as you can see, we have 22 on SSH, 80, and we have on port 6667, we have this. So if you want to filter and find out, as you can see, it's IRC, which is a chat server. So what if we want to get details about this service, IRC? We can go back here, and we can say, for example, use the filters without the need to go over the list. It is not reasonable if you have multiple targets. So you can use the filters all the time. Filters, port equal to 6667. Apply. And we see here IRC daemon version detection. We click on that and we get details about the service. This plugin determines the version of the IRC daemon. The IRC server version is blah blah blah. Okay. So this is the details about the service. And as I said, we can use the filters to display the scan or display the output as we like. So for example, we can use the port filter, we can use the severity. Most of the time, we're going to use the port, protocol, and severity. So let's say we want to see if a web server is running. We can filter for the protocol equal to HTTP. And we can see here we have Apache HTTP server. We can click on that and we have two results: banner, Linux distribution disclosure, and HTTP server version. Normally, when you scan with Nmap, you would see details or outputs, the output of these two results, right directly together, all together in the Nmap scan. But here in Nessus, it categorizes and classifies them based on the banners or the alerts. So you see here the Linux distribution disclosure. We click on that. As you can see, Nessus was able to extract the banner of the Apache web server and determine which Linux distribution the remote host is running. As you can see from the web server, Nessus was able to find the operating system, which is Ubuntu 14.04. What else we have regarding Apache? We have also the version. We can click on that and we can see the version is 2499. So that's about the basic scan, like Nmap scan. Let's go back to my scans and create a new scan, and let's use the application tests. Right here, THM web app. Of course, the target name. Let me get the IP. So the IP. Right. Oh, not here. Okay. So next thing, we don't want to schedule that. Let's jump to discovery. And let me restrict that to ports. Let's go down. Ping, no problem. Default range. Let me just get back there and put common ports. And the assessment, scan for all vulnerabilities. Okay, that's fine. Let's save and run. Run the THM or application scan. So Nikto has finished the scan, and now we can start comparing between Nessus and Nikto. So if you get back to Nessus here, we can see the difference in the layout of displaying the results. So here we can see every single alert is categorized and in a graphical interface, and just we can click on anyone we are interested in examining the details, and we can have the info about this. So for example, if we click on Web Application Sitemap, we can see a list of all of the files on the web server, right? Everything. But if we get back now to Nikto, we can't see these, right? I know we can customize Nikto for displaying the results, but for an initial scan, I can't see these. That's one thing about that makes Nessus bears more advantage. If we get back to examining more stuff, web server directory enumeration. So here we have the following directories were discovered, JavaScript icons. Let's see Nikto what has displayed. Let's see here. So the directories also were not displayed. That's also one. Let's move to something. Let's click on HTTP multiple issues. We can see here the methods allowed, and also in Nicto we can see the methods allowed here. Allowed HTTP methods. That's one similarity. Let's get back. Server type and version. If we click here, we can see the version of the web server. Let's get back, and here also we can see the version of the web server. Okay, fine. Let's see the medium stuff. Browsable web directories. These directories are browsable, but unfortunately, I cannot see any results indicating these issues here in Nicto. Okay. Okay, that's about scanning a web server and scanning a full scan, like Nmap scan. You do a full scan, you choose the basic network scan. You want to scan our application, you choose the application tests. Okay, so we can also scan for these vulnerabilities and the presence of ransomware or malware on the system. That's much about the type of scans and application of basic network scan and web application tests. Here we can see dynamic scan. This dynamic scan is about plugins. So here you see the dynamic plugins, and you configure based on the filter. For example, I want to scan my targets for a specific CVE number, right? Or specific criteria like exploitable by malware or by Nessus. Here is specify the if you know about your target too much, and you couldn't find the things you're looking for in the basic network scan, you can choose the advanced dynamic scan to pin down your scan specific criteria. So that was about it. It's not complex, pretty easy, but it's all about what you are used to use actually. So for me, I'm not used to Nessus. I use Nmap, Nicto, OWASP Zap, SQL Map, these kind of issues to scan the targets. So yeah, so that was about it. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.